Welcome to Friday, August 9th, 2024. This Day with the podcast brought to you by ConverseCountyTourism.com. Beautiful landscapes, historic sites, and unique downtowns await visitors to Douglas and Glen Rock. Plan your visit at ConverseCountyTourism.com. Well, folks, we're going to continue to have very moderate temperatures and more good chances of showers and thunderstorms in the region today and through the weekend. Some of you are in the soup, some of you are not. If you're not in the soup, you get photos like what you see right there from Phil in Rock Springs. What will continue today, along and east of the Continental Divide, will be upslope conditions, easterly wind flow, cool, moist air getting forced uphill, will produce low clouds, fog, drizzle in some areas. Shower and thunderstorm activity will be most common mountains and west of the Divide once the afternoon and evening hours go on. As the mountains and the western slope areas get the daytime heating, that's where the thunderstorms are going to be a lot like yesterday. Today is essentially a repeat of yesterday, just maybe a little bit warmer, but only in a few areas. Now, as we get into the weekend, the cool air mass slowly erodes, not quickly. It's not really going to rush out of the area. So temperatures do get warmer, especially by Sunday into Monday and in the next week, but nothing too hot comes back, just getting back closer to average by next week. With the warmer temperatures and the fact that the subtropical moisture is going to remain, well, thunderstorms are going to be a common feature of every forecast throughout the West, both sides of the divide. The exception will be the interior West and the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast. But if you're in the clear, it's still a little bit smoky and hazy in some areas, but you certainly get some good views, sun rays coming through the clouds there, and lots of cloud buildup in the afternoon and evening hours, leading to some color and those showers and thunderstorms. And then another great shot of a shelf cloud there with the thunderstorm activity that rolled into southeastern Wyoming earlier in the week. As we take a look at the pattern, I know I've shown you this same map for the last couple of days, but essentially it's the same pattern and it's the same process. So that subtropical moisture comes around that high in the green arrows. That cool air is pouring into the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, really bringing quite a cool down to areas along and east of the divide. By Wednesday of next week, to show you that things don't change too quickly, now by the middle of next week, the high pressure ridge kind of gets squashed in a more east-west alignment like this, but the flow of air will still be favorable for subtropical moisture to come in. The real hot weather will be in the southern areas of the U.S. Yes, it's going to get warmer, but since the ridge isn't bulging up like this, the real heat will stay in the south, more moderate temperatures here, and little weather disturbances moving along the flow like this, mixing it up with those green arrows. Take that plus daytime heating, you're going to have a continuation of afternoon and evening thunderstorms. And the satellite imagery this morning, like yesterday, shows the blue. That's where the upslope is producing low stratus clouds along and east of the divide. And then we're getting these scattered showers and thunderstorms embedded in the deeper moisture that develop later in the day, continuing into the overnight hours. And with the subtropical moisture, you can see it's well in place. Now you see the dry air here. There's going to be a slight intrusion of the drier air into the area Sunday. But for the most part, this area of gray cloudiness, the high water vapor content of the air that you see here, well, that's going to keep those showers and thunderstorms around. It's really not going to get pushed out. Temperature-wise, these are the temperature anomalies by 3 p.m. Mountain Time today. Look at that coolness centered right there. And even down into Dallas, cooler air is coming on in. And then you can see how cool the Dakotas are, Montana, the eastern plains of Wyoming, and Nebraska. This is tomorrow. So today, tomorrow, Sunday, and into Monday and the weekend, that cool air dominates. Precipitable water. This is where it's going to be at 3 o'clock this afternoon, pretty deep. And thunderstorms, as we discussed yesterday, are going to want to form where the heating's the best. And that will be along and west of the mountain ranges, along the divide especially. The plains, kind of sheltered from any widespread or heavy thunderstorms. There'll be a few. There'll be some runnables of thunder out here, but just not as much. So basically today, is a repeat of what we had on Thursday. By tomorrow, as temperatures warm up, as the cool air retreats a little more to the east, you can see that the thunderstorms get further out onto the plains. That's a function of it getting a little bit warmer, generating more instability and get thunderstorms going. And that's what it's going to be like on Sunday. We talked about that dry air intruding. So you can see western Wyoming, eastern Idaho. There's going to be a little bit of a break in the thunderstorms. It's temporary, though, because this moisture will come back around by Monday and Tuesday. But along and east of the divide, thunderstorm activity on Sunday is still going to be very commonplace. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, this moisture surges back to the north again. And you can see that. Look at the precipitable water on Monday. This will be a day that we'll need to watch heavy rain-producing thunderstorms and flash flooding potential early next week in this deeper pocket of blue here. So we'll see what happens early next week with that, but we'll need to watch it. And there you can go on Monday. You can see the thunderstorms resurging back into western Wyoming, the Wasatch Front of Utah and eastern Idaho and western Montana again. So we're just going to be a little bit of back and forth with the deeper moisture, but the overall message here is that if you're going to be doing anything outdoors today through the weekend into the early parts of next week, thunderstorms will be common, temperatures will be moderate. This is the 10-day precipitation forecast, again, really focusing on the western slope of Colorado, the Four Corners area here. Some real opportunities for heavy rain with some of these showers and thunderstorms out on the plains, very wet. Now, it's not as wet here, but there's going to be afternoon and evening thunderstorms nonetheless. So hopefully there's more rain coming for those areas that need it. Have yourself a good weekend. We'll see you Monday.